I've been told that you've done a TED talk, right?
Yes,
And I
yes, I
want to
did.
know, like, was it MMA related? What's the deal with that? Like, yeah, talk us. So, because usually, like with the TED talk, and to be honest with you, is it anywhere where we can actually look it up and
No,
have a
you
look at
can't.
it?
Look, I'll tell you the great part about this, Dennis. I still don't know why I got asked to do this, but I think it was set up. But it was so interesting to do, and of course it was about MMA. And I kept saying to them, "Why the hell do you want me to do this? I'm so used to talking about MMA to people that are interested in this, and you want me to talk to people that know nothing about it." Um, it took a lot. It took a lot of time to get the story that it was acceptable. I think that would be the word, acceptable uh, to tell, basically, because there was sometimes I was telling them things to give them background, and they just would like, and the guy kept coming up to me and he goes, "You can't say that." I'm like, "Well, I can because it's true." And he goes, "No, you just can't say that. People just won't understand." I says, "But this is my truth, mate. I understand this, you know." And I said to him, and I said this simple thing to him. I said, "Look, um, you might not be interested in this, in like the fighting side of it and all that sort of thing." I said, "But you could go to any school. You could say to anybody, uh, tell me, you know, go to any kid's school, go to a kindergarten and say to them, who's the strongest and who's the fastest in your class?" They'll go, "That kid there and that kid there." Kids know this stuff. It's important, you know. And it was also going to be part of my talk was I said if I stood there and I said names like, you know, Dempsey or Lewis or Marciano or, you know, obviously Tyson or Frazier or Ali or Foreman, somewhere in this crowd or the demographic of the crowd of whatever age group from 20 to 80, someone will understand what I know. "Oh, I know that name." And it's like, well, why do you know that name? Why is it important that you know this name, you know? This is how important fighting is to us, you know. We still want to know who's the strongest in the village. It's as simple as that. So yes, I did do a TED talk, and I did get it right. Finally, that it was acceptable, and uh, and it was a very interesting experience to do because um, I had some really funny bits in it, but the people that were sitting there in front of me just did not know when to laugh. They just didn't get it. But the people that I took there to the show, they were laughing their heads off down the back, but the other people just looked at me. I was getting no feedback, nothing. It was total stunned mullet views from them, but I was asking them a lot of questions basically. So yeah, it was quite interesting. And of course, like you say, the interesting part was, where can we see this? And it was it was the only one on the night where the teleprompter cut out and the screen behind didn't work and all this thing, and they couldn't record it. But I was with people that were doctors and lecturers, published authors, and their stuff was, their subjects were really interesting, and it was, and why I was in there I still don't know, but I still keep in touch with people from that night, and I've just got in touch with one not long ago, and I said, "You better come to this fight night," because we used to talk about MMA all the time. But he totally got what I was talking about, and it was just like we were talking about the good things that come out of martial arts, as apart from the physical experience, is the mental experience of it, you know. And I suppose that's what I was doing with the talk. But I did have the best part for me is I did have people come up to me later on and say, "My kids watch this stuff all the time, and I didn't like it, but I've heard what you said tonight, and you've changed my mind." And I was like, "Oh, that's great. That's all I wanted to do," because I did talk about the emotional side of the sport, that which to me is a massive part of it. You know, the roller coaster that they go through, which you would have done. Uh, you know, being tired or being organised or being injured or got to go or why am I doing this? And you know, it's just you know, it was great.